All right, what is up, team? We are here for the full breakdown of today's at-home workout. We've got some fun moves today, some really tough push-up variations, devil's press, some squat jacks. But we are going to kick things off with a 400-meter run. So Charity's going to demo what that might look like. And that is a world record 400-meter run, folks. You've seen it here first. All right, so moving on, after your 400-meter run, or if you're not running outside, guys, about a 2-minute run in place. Feel free to sub that for a row or a bike or anything you have steady state-wise. We are going to do our band pull-aparts from a hollow body position. So we're going to kick things off with 3 rounds of 15 of these plus another move. So Charity's going to go into a hollow body. What we basically are after is she's in a little crunch. Her legs are extended off the ground, but her low back is pinned into the ground. That's the most important thing going on, guys. We want to keep that lumbar curve down to the floor. And then she's got her hands directly above her shoulders and chest, and she's going to separate her hands to do a pull apart, and that band's going to hit her right in the chest at the bottom of this move. But she's maintaining that hollow body position. So this is a core workout, plus we're warming up our shoulders at the same time. To make the hollow body easier, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our knees in towards our chest like this, and that is going to make that hollow body a lot easier. So if you feel like you're not maintaining lumbar curve down into the floor, go to this scaled version. So 15 pull aparts, and now we're going to pair that with 15 seated rows. So we're going to use the same band, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to loop that over your feet, both feet, not once, but twice. So we definitely want 2 visible coils around both feet so that thing is nice and secure. It's not just going to slip off your feet easily. Then we're going to sit up nice and tall, so we've got 1 strand per hand, and we're just going to pull towards our midline and squeeze the heck out of our shoulder blades as we do it. So we want chest up and out nice and tall, shoulders down and back, and we are squeezing all of these back muscles as we go. So we're going to do 15 of those as well, guys. So 3 rounds, 15 hollow body pull aparts, and 15 seated band rows. Thank you, Charity. Next up, we're going to keep you on the floor, guys. We're going to do 3 rounds of 10 plank reaches to your toes. So we're at the top of your push-up here. So we have shoulders above wrists. We have a nice straight plank all the way through your heels. What we're going to do is we're going to take one hand and we're going to reach through and touch the opposite set of toes. So left hand goes to the right toes, reset, right hand goes to the left set of toes. So you can see she's actually ending up in down dog. 1 arm. So we're going to do 10 total of those. Then we're going to flip over and lay down on our back and do 20 toe touch crunches. So our legs are going to be straight up in the air, toes pointed, make it nice and pretty. And then we're just going to crunch up trying to touch our toes 20 times. I don't expect you to hit your toes, guys. That's just a target. That's just the path we're on, so don't sweat it. But do try to stabilize your lower body. Hopefully your lower body's not moving around. So 3 rounds, 10 plank reaches, and 20 toe touch crunches. Now we're getting into strength, and this is where we are all going to take a different path, like the Robert Frost poem. Push-ups. The goal today is to do 50 of the toughest push-up you've got in your toolbox, okay, in your arsenal. So that's going to mean something quite different to all of us. So we might start with something like just a kneeling push-up. So from the knees, chest to the floor, elbows stay in for all these variations, guys. And we want to cover full depth. So chest is always to the floor and then full extension. Next up would be from the toes, right? So can we get a full body weight, legit push-up in? Same deal, chest to floor. Good, Charity. Now, how do we add weight to this? How do we make this harder? Well, we've got a couple options. Number 1, we've got a band. So if we get that band in our palms and loop it over our shoulder blades, and then we still need to palm the ground, that band is going to offer resistance now as we press out, right? So otherwise your push-up standards are the same, but you can see how that band is making that harder for her to press out. Another thing, guys, is if you have a weight vest, just go ahead and throw a weight vest on. So now a different variation of a push-up that you maybe haven't seen is called a Russian push-up. There's also a Russian dip as well. So this one's a little tricky, but if you've got a lot of good bodyweight push-ups, maybe give this a shot today just for some fun. So starting at the top of your push-up, we're going to go down into the bottom of your push-up. Then we're going to fall back onto our forearms. Then we're going to lunge forward onto our hands and then press back out. So let's do that again. So we go down into our hands, falling onto the forearms. Then we need to roll forward back to the hands before pressing out. So that's adding some rotation and difficulty to the move. And then last but not least, we have a plyometric push-up or a jumping push-up. Now there are a bunch of variations here. We can just explosively push up off the ground without a clap. Let's see one of those. Boom. And then for those of you that have really solid jumping push-ups, you might want to jump and do an actual clap. Yep, that's awesome. So all the way through plyometric push-ups. Awesome job, Charity. Take a break. So here's the goal, guys. The programming is to do 50 of the toughest push-ups that you can, but you need to partition that as needed. So my mind immediately goes to 5 sets of 10, but you can break that down however you want to. Now, every time you take a break, I just want you to do 10 regular plain Jane sit-ups. We're gonna skip that demo for time's sake, okay? So 50 push-ups, toughest scenario you've got, and 10 sit-ups with each break. Now, if a push-up variation that you tried is killing you and you aren't sustaining it, cool, go back down to an easier level, right? So mix that up as needed. Now, for the Metcon guys, we are gonna put 10 minutes on the clock. We're gonna do a 10-minute AMRAP, and we're doing an increasing ladder of repetitions. We're gonna do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and keep going up by 2 until time runs out of 2 movements. We have move number 1 is a devil's press, and move number 2 is going to be a squat jack. So the devil's press, we need a pair of dumbbells for this one, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 1 dumbbell per hand. This is basically a combination of a burpee and a kettlebell swing. If you've never done this, we're just combining those 2 moves. So Charity's going to set those weights down just outside the chest width. She's going to drop into a burpee. So chest goes all the way to the floor right between those dumbbells. Now when she jumps up, she's going to jump a little bit shy of the weights, and then she's going to basically execute a kettlebell swing. And then you just return back to the start. So one little tip here, I'm going to freeze Charity right here in this moment. Freeze, timeout. Notice where her feet hit. She's got some distance between her toe and that dumbbell. That is a huge tip, so that when she picks up the weight, it swings through and allows you to go smoothly into that kettlebell swing. So that's a huge tip. And then another thing too, when you go through the swing, guys, dumbbells together, that helps stabilize them overhead. But when they come back down, separate them, right? So that's a devil's press. Chest and thighs to the floor between the weights, and then the weights need to make it back up to full extension overhead. We're going to pair that with a squat jack. So this is a jumping jack combined with a full squat. Let's see it. That was just a jumping jack, guys. So that's the non-example of what we don't want to do. Cool. So she's going through full squat depth at the bottom. Her arms are overhead when her hips and butt are down low at the bottom of the squat. So face the camera and do 1 or 2, Charity, just so they can see that other shot. Cool. So again, full depth standard. She's in the squat while her arms are overhead. So it's the same rhythm as a jumping jack. That's good right there. Thank you. Perfect. Awesome. So guys, that should be a tough 10 minutes. It's going to start really fast. You're going to go through quite a few rounds, and then you'll realize you still have 9 minutes and 30 seconds left. So 10 minutes, as many rounds as possible, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on of devil's press and squat jacks. So hit that one hard, guys. That should be a fun one. Thank you, Charity, as always. Stay safe. Stay strong. We'll see you next time.